Why shucks? You found me. How you guys doing? Happy Sunday to all of you. I am Jared Bear Fuller. Thanks for stopping by. This is a Sunday video update. Today's date is Sunday, March 7th, 2021. Joining me off camera is my Peppy, my daddy. I hope y'all had a wonderful week. My week was how would I rate this past week? Wow. Yeah, a lot of things have been going on, and so I'll get to that right away. But before I get to any of that, there were a couple of upfront announcements I wanted to make. First of all, shout out to all my friends who are watching this, my cousin Destiny, my buddy Joe out in Arkansas, my buddy Juan in Texas, anybody and everybody who's tuning in right now, including you at home. Thanks for watching, or wherever from your electric device, from your phone or wherever you're watching this. And a very important announcement that I need to make. A cancer mom and I have reminisced. I'm not going to give the name because it's not important, but she texted me with an apology. I apologize back. We're kind of, we're talking and trying to get back to the way things were. And I'm looking forward to speaking with her some more in the future. So guess what, haters? You fucking lost this one. There you go. So I am happy that we were able to bury the hatchet. We're talking again. And yeah, so matter of fact, after this live stream is over, we're going to chat on the phone for a little while. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. This past week, Tuesday. Yes, it was Tuesday. It was the 32nd anniversary of my diagnosis with Wilms tumor. What did I do on that day? Essentially, what you're looking at right here, right now. I just hung out, kicked back, chilled out for a while. And I actually, no, I can't even say I did that because I went up to my mom's on Tuesday. Yeah, so I actually had dinner with my mom. She made homemade gravy and Salisbury steak. That's what it was. We had mashed potatoes, carrots. So it was nice. We had a very nice visit, or I did. And and I watched her make the homemade gravy. It's called roux, spelled R-O-U-X, for those of you who may not be familiar with that. Pretty easy to make. And now that I know how to make homemade gravy, I'm going to give it a try when I cook again, Dad. And it's really easy. It's really easy. But I'm looking forward to making it. My mom showed me because my mom, being number 17 of 17 children, she learned how to do some things from her siblings and from her mom. So, yeah, you pass down some things, from what you've learned from your parents, and then it just carries on and passes down through the generations. So I'm looking forward to giving that a shot. And yeah, so I just visited with her for, I don't know, I'd say about maybe 2-3 hours, maybe a little longer. And matter of fact, she was down for the weekend and I visited with her last night and we watched television. We watched Barney Miller, an old show from, I think, like the 70s and 80s, Barney Miller, with Hal Linden and Steve Landesberg, and Abe Vigoda was on there, I think. And then after that, Maude came on. I like Maude. I like B. Arthur. And then after I watched Maude with Mom, I decided to come home because it was late. And I kicked back in my room, turned it on the same channel that they had down there, and I watched One Day at a Time, and I fell asleep. I just wanted to get one last look at Valerie Bertinelli. One Day at a Time was a good show. You remember One Day at a Time, Dad? Yeah. Bonnie Franklin was her name, the mom, Bonnie Franklin, and Valerie Bertinelli, of course. And that was back in the 70s, 80s, I think, 70s and 80s. Yeah. Yeah, I watch all the classic shows. I'm a classic show kind of a guy. But it was a good weekend. Like I said, on March 2nd, it was a 32nd anniversary of my diagnosis with Wilms tumor. And it was my Uncle Danny's birthday. I don't know if I should reveal his age, but Um, oh yeah, he turned 64. Yeah, he had a good birthday. I actually went to his house on the 1st, because I had to go to Owasso to take care of some bills, and then after that, I came back up to where he lives at, stopped in there, visited with them for about a couple hours or so, and it was a nice visit. They had the grandkids over. It was a nice visit. And we have Amy coming out of the bedroom, stepping out of her obscurity, her cave, off camera here. Oh, she's doing this to Dad, giving Dad the finger, like, come here. Come here, you old man. Oh, I just called my dad old. And yesterday was kind of an emotional day, because my dad had an appointment with the funeral home, because we did a pre-planning for funeral arrangements when he passes away. And I held it together for as long as I could, but then we started to talk semantics, like, the grieving process and all that. And then I just lost it. And my brother Jay was sitting there and he says, come on, little brother, let's step outside. Let's get some air. Let's talk. And I broke down crying on his shoulder. And he says, I know it's hard, brother, but this is something we got to talk about. And, it's something that we got to plan, because, mom and dad's not going to be around forever. And which I was already aware, but, it was still hard. It was still hard to have to sit there and listen to all that. And I was really upset, but the day got better. My brother Jay, that was there with us, he says, you know what? He says, you guys come on over and visit for a little while. He says, I'll make a pot of coffee, and you guys can come over, have coffee or pop or whatever you want to drink, and we'll just sit and shoot the shit for a while. And he just had a 41st birthday on March 4th, by the way. But it was a nice visit. The day got better progressively. And then after I was at Jay's, I went to visit with my mom, because she was down at my stepdad's for a little while. So it was quite the active week. And for those of you who may not, oh, Amy went back into her. I really tried. I really tried. And for those of you who probably don't know, I mentioned this in the Sunday video update before, but I'm actually a First Amendment auditor. And what that is it's when you hear First Amendment, you think about, okay, free speech. It's partly that, but my focus of the First Amendment is public photography and public filming from publicly accessible areas of public places. And I was with a friend of mine. He lives nearby. I'm not going to dox him. I don't want to do that. But we went to Alma, which is west of here, a city called Alma. It's in Gratiot County. And my buddy and I, we were on a sidewalk. We were filming, and we walked by a bank, and we put our cameras up to the windows, which, by the way, perfectly legal, because we were standing in a publicly accessible area. And Dad brought over some cheese and crackers, and is that hickory stick?
Yep, man. I'm reserved.
But anyway, we were walking down the sidewalk. We were filming through the windows, perfectly legal. There is no expectation of privacy in public, by the way. That's not just outdoors, but it also applies to the internet as well. It also applies to Facebook and Twitter and whatever else you use. But anyway, so we circled around back into the downtown area, and the lady who was working behind the window or behind the desk, she came out with her cell phone. Hey, fuckers, you just ruined my day. And she's saying all kinds of stupid shit. And she actually had her phone like right close to my face like this. And I said, hi, mom. Hi, mom. And then she tried swatting my camera out of my hand. I said, don't you touch my camera. And my buddy got assaulted. It was crazy. It was crazy, but it was funny. We laughed all the way back over this way. We couldn't stop laughing. I called her Crazy Karen. Although Karen is a pejorative to describe someone who's being just obnoxious. Well, she was way off the charts obnoxious, but she got in my face like only inches away, and I don't know. She may have had the devil in her heart, but I think she had lust in her eyes. But and you know, when I do these kinds of things, the First Amendment audits and things like that, I'm not going out there looking for trouble. I'm exercising my rights, and it's a test. Like I go to post offices, I go to government facilities like police stations, and I did go to the Gratiot County Sheriff's Department. Um, and it's to educate myself and to educate other people, like Dad pointed out, and I carry pepper spray, and you know, I mean, when I go into a post office, I don't take my pepper spray because it's federal property, and you know, you can't take weapons on federal property, so I leave the pepper spray behind. But after that incident, that the one time I didn't carry my pepper spray, this crazy lady comes out and sticks her camera in my face, like only inches away. And I use the opportunity to promote my channel, and you know, I made use of it. And subscribe, not prescribe, subscribe. But it was a turbulent week, to say the very least, but it was fun. And my buddy and I we're still laughing about it to this day, because some other guy, I think it was her boyfriend or her drug dealer, or I don't know who he was, but he came up and chest bumped my buddy and says, "I suggest you settle that camera down or we're going to have problems." And he says, "Settle my camera down? I didn't know my camera was excited." It was crazy. It was crazy. But the thing is, again, like I said, is it's about education. I'm a firm believer of the Constitution of the United States, and it's important to be able to exercise your rights. And if people aren't sure of what we're doing, we like to educate, and we like to tell people what we're up to. And it all depends on how they choose to approach. Now, I don't go around sticking a camera in people's faces like this. I maintained, social distancing, at least tried to, until that crazy broad got in my face. But we're not out there causing problems. Our goal is not to agitate people. It's to educate people, because our rights are important, something we all should be exercising. And if you film me walking down a sidewalk or film me out in public, I'm not going to have a problem with that. Absolutely not. You're exercising your First Amendment rights. Public photography and filming, you can do it. Now, for example, like say Starbucks or Walmart or whatever the case may be, even Frank's Supermarket, those are private owned stores, which means that although it's open to the public, it's not public property. So legally, by rights, you're not allowed to film on private property unless you have permission from the people who own the property. But if you're on a sidewalk filming public property or private property, that's legal. You can stand on a sidewalk and film a grocery store parking lot. You can film anything your eyes can see as long as you're standing in a publicly accessible area. And a lot of people don't know that. Well, I don't want you filming my house or my license plate or any of this area. Doesn't matter what you want. The law says I can. And people are like, well, what's the point of that? What's the point of filming everything you see? Like, why do you have to document? Why do you have to take your camera? Because it's an exercise of rights. It's an exercise of rights. There's a lot of people out there who are doing this kind of thing. And it can get dangerous. It can get deadly if you're not careful. But I personally myself, I've never heard of a First Amendment auditor actually getting killed over doing a First Amendment audit, because it's just a camera. I use a GoPro. It's a little black camera on a stick. I have to get some extra accessories for it, which reminds me, I'm going to have to get an external battery, so that way the battery will stay charged while I'm filming. And it's really that simple. It's not to, like I said, we're not out there causing problems. It's to exercise our rights. And I have had conversations with police, with law enforcement, and I saw a lot of cops last week. So for those of you who might be wondering, judging based on what you read on Facebook, oh, Jared's got investigations, this, that, and the other. If that were the case, they would have recognized me immediately, although they don't have my car because I didn't take my car. I rode with my buddy. But either way, they would have a description. They would know what I look like. They would know which vehicle I drive. they would have all that information. I've had numerous to several interactions with law enforcement last week while doing the First Amendment audits. But that's what First Amendment audits are. It's fun to educate, and if people have issues, I'll educate them as well. There's a lot you have to know. But it's fun, and I'm learning something new every day, which I enjoy very much. So that's what First Amendment auditing is. So it's partially to do with freedom of speech because, like that lady swore at me, was calling me an asshole and all that. Okay, whatever. They're just words. They bounce off. But I'm not going to tell her, you can't call me an asshole. You can't say this or say that about me. It's freedom of speech. I'm not going to tell her she can't. She could have flipped me the bird if she wanted. And there's nothing I'm going to do about it. The thing about that too is not everything is a hanging offense. Not everything is meant to be, oh my God, he flipped me off. Oh my God, they emailed me. It's just get on with your day. Go on with your life. You'll live, you'll survive. And speaking of email, yeah, I kind of got to say this. I got to get this out there. So I used to be friends with a cancer mom, not the one that I made amends with. I used to be friends with the mom, a cancer mother. Her name is Lori, and her son is fighting cancer. And I've emailed her just to find out how her son was doing and this, that, and the other. And she supports Milk Tyson. She's up his ass. And so I had to email her. She says, well, now this is harassment. And I'm here to tell you, Lori, if you're watching this, or if any of your friends or your fellow fighting all monsters, batshit crazy friends are watching this and you're sharing my video out, I don't need your fucking permission to email you. Just like you don't need permission from me for you to email me. It's email. Do you know that there is a way to block email addresses of people you don't want to hear from? Don't go crying foul because, oh, I asked you 3 times to stop emailing me and now this is harassment. Fuck you. It's not harassment. I'm trying to get you to understand that the person that you're associating with and the creep that you're defending is a fucking jackass loser who uses your kid. Obviously, you don't care. He uses your kid and many other kids to make himself look. He calls himself an advocate for childhood cancer, and I think it's bullshit. And that's just coming from an actual childhood cancer survivor, someone who's very well learned and very well educated about what that is. These people are looking for something. They really and truly are looking for something. And Lori, while I'm not sure if you're watching this or not, share this video out, or they're going to bring it to your attention and they're going to say, hey, watch this piece or listen to this sound clip. So I'm going to tell you, and hope when the stream isn't breaking up and crackling and all that, I'm going to tell you, I sent you the evidence. I emailed you the soundbite of everything he admitted to. Milk Tyson is a dirtbag. He's a maggot-ass Legion motherfucker, and I've said this any number of times. Do you honestly, do you feel comfortable defending a creep? Someone who goes on public record saying that he got kicked out of a homeless shelter for sexually harassing someone and then laughed about it after the fact? Do you think that's a joke? I'm looking out for you. You just don't seem to get that. Someday you will. Someday I'll fix you. I'll get you to understand what you've gotten yourself into, and then you're going to have to process through all this, and you're going to have to think to yourself, gee, Jared was right the whole time. But see, we can't admit that Jared was right because Jared is the enemy. And I'm not supposed to admit that Jared is right because then the people who I'm associated with, now they're going to turn on me, and then I'm going to have to deal with drama. Fuck them. You don't owe them an explanation. However, I'm trying to look out for you, and I fear for your kid now more than ever because you, for some reason, instead of focusing on what I'm trying to tell you about this creep, you, for some reason, have taken it upon yourself to take offense to me emailing you. Which, by the way, this is going to make you guys laugh. This Lori, she told me in an email, she says, well, I just don't have time to be reading daily emails. Well, that's kind of a walking contradiction, isn't it? Because if you don't have the time to read daily emails, how do you know I'm emailing you daily? You don't have the time, right? Apparently. So you just kind of contradicted yourself there. Congratulations, Lori. Thank you. But I don't have any ill will or any anger or resentment towards Libby. That's her last name, Lori Libby. I don't have any resentment or anger towards Lori, but I want her to understand what she's gotten herself into, and she's brainwashed by all these people and that douchebag Milk Tyson. You need to avoid people like this. You don't have a problem with sex predators and drug addicts and drug dealers and narcissists. You don't have a problem with people like this representing your children. That's why I'm happily detached from the childhood cancer awareness movement, because it's all bullshit. You know, as a matter of fact, Bill Maher has a show on HBO called Real Time with Bill Maher. And he had actually said something. He had a whole editorial at the end in his New Rules segment about raising awareness to certain causes and diseases and things. And I have to say, I agree with him. I really agree with what he was saying. We are aware. It's not secret. It's not something that is kept under the rug. It's not hidden in the shadows. It's out there. We've heard of cancer. We've heard of fibromyalgia, the word he couldn't say. We've heard of all of these different things. And it kind of cemented my ideas of, you know, I don't want to advocate anymore because it just doesn't, it's just not working out. I'm happy to stop advocating for childhood cancer for the cause. I didn't want to be part of the cause. I shouldn't have focused on the cause. I should have been more focused on the people. And towards the end, I was. And so using people's kids to make yourself look better is disgusting. And we have a lot of that going on in the childhood cancer world. Absolutely. Without a doubt. And it's just one of my many pet peeves about the whole raising awareness and having this fetish for gold ribbons. It just, after a while, it became hideous. It was embarrassing. I found myself talking like some kind of a blubbering buffoon. You know, September being Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, it felt like another day at the office, business as usual. You know, you go on there, you reiterate and rehash the same stories that you've shared. You just regurgitate it over and over and over and over again to the point where you finally wake up and say, this is a waste of fucking time, because my name isn't Tom Mitchell. It's not Milk Tyson. It's not, it's not Tim McBride. It's not Ronnie Duvall. It's not any of these other people. These people who are allegedly, they mean something, because my name is not that. However, I am actually a childhood cancer survivor. None of that matters. So I got fed up, and that's why I quit. I never stopped caring about the children. I never stopped caring about the people. As a matter of fact, this person that I made up with today, and I'm so thrilled, I'm happy about that. And I'm glad that we were able to bury the hatchet and patch things up. And we're going to be working on repairing our friendship more, which I think is awesome. The thing is that although I was angry, we were angry with each other. And although that we said some things to one another that we probably shouldn't said, it was the heat of the moment, and we were angry with each other, there wasn't a moment go by during that whole time that we didn't speak. There wasn't a single moment gone by that I did not think about her and her son. Because it's not about anything else but the people. And I've tried to get this message out to as many people as I can. All these people who are doing the showboating and glamour and all this and that and the other. It's not up to your... Okay, I'm going to direct this to the parents of the cancer kids. I'm going to direct this next statement to you. And I hope you pay attention. I hope you listen to me and take this into consideration. You know that these people out here, these advocates, they're using your kids to maintain and sharpen an image of themselves. You know that. You should know that by now. And if you don't care that they're using your kids as stock for their ego, there's something wrong with you, first of all. Second of all, it's not up to you. It's not your child's responsibility to make sure that these insecure advocates feel better about themselves. That responsibility does not fall on your children. I've had to actually explain this to another mom of a cancer warrior, and I'm not going to give a name. She knows who she is. She watches my videos. I've had to explain to her. And she says, yeah, I had to block someone who was faking having cancer, which I also find to be fucking despicable. But I had to explain to her, it is not up to you or your child to make sure that Tom Mitchell feels better about himself, or that Milk Tyson or Ronnie Duvall or Tim McBride or any of these other people. It's not up to you and your kids to make sure that their ego is stroked, that you become a sycophant to them because they have this insecurity about, I'm never going to amount to anything through Facebook popularity. Fuck off. If fame and popularity were the only things I was ever worried about, and I wanted to use childhood cancer as a vehicle to get there, that's a cheap way of getting there. Because if fame and popularity really mattered to me, I would just go out and do it. I would work harder at becoming famous if it really mattered that much to me. Childhood cancer is too personal for me to turn it into some kind of a pissing match. I've only spoken from experience. Everything I've ever done, I've always done for the children and for the families. And it seems like every week ad nauseum, I'm reiterating and regurgitating the same fucking thing over and over again. But there's people out there who just don't get it. They don't understand. Or if they do, they won't admit to it, because admitting that Jared Fuller is right would be contradicting the group thought that they've adopted themselves with, because they're now a part of the clique that we've all accepted. We've all voted. We've all taken a vote that Jared Fuller is a bad guy. No, Jared Fuller responds to bullshit. I fight back. I fire back when people want to be stupid with me. And you're seeing me firing back. You're not seeing what these other people are doing that results with me firing back. You don't see what the other side of the story, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's not your responsibility. It's not your child's responsibility to be a boo-boo Band-Aid for their insecurity. You people really need to stop and think about that for a minute. My mom and dad would have never allowed for someone to come into my room, and I said this last week. My parents would have never allowed for someone to come into my room, act like they give a damn, just so they can bolster some kind of an image about themselves so they can go and brag about it to the rest of the world. That's not what this is about. It's not what it's about. But I'm going to sit here and eat my sharp cheddar cheese. In fact, after I'm done with the live stream, and I'm probably going to be preparing taco salad, because I bought some ingredients to make my taco salad last night. Yeah, dad loves taco salad. Amy loves taco salad. It doesn't last long around here. And my brothers, they love my taco salad too. His girlfriend's kids, they love my taco salad. But after I get done here, I'm going to make taco salad. I'll probably be speaking with my friend. I'll probably do that first. Yeah, I'll probably be speaking to you first before I go and make my taco salad. But yeah, that's what's on the agenda for today. Cheese is good. Mm. But anyway, I've been here for a half an hour already. That half hour goes by quick. Pardon me for talking with my mouth full of food. But that's basically what is going on. And because I quit being involved with that, it doesn't mean that I stop caring. It doesn't mean that I stop loving and caring about the kids, because I do, and I always will. But there's just a lot of insecure people. There's a lot of people involved with the childhood cancer with advocating. The wrong people shouldn't have nothing to do with it. I'm talking about the insecure narcissist. I'm talking about admitted sex predators, drug addicts, drug dealers. Why do you people allow garbage into this? That's what I don't understand. You'll sit and gripe about everything else about what your kids are getting involved in on the internet, but yet you let all this garbage into this particular demographic. I don't care if they're parents of cancer kids. Why do you allow it? Why do you tolerate it? Why do you put up with it? I wouldn't, and I don't. Wash that cheese down with some Pepsi. Excuse me. But this friend that I repaired the friendship with her today, and if your son's watching, which I don't think he will be because of the cursing, but I hope he's doing well, and I'm thinking about him today, and I'm sending out my love and my caring like I always have. And we'll talk in a little while, actually, when I finish up with this. But yeah, so it's been a wild week. It's been kind of ups and downs and all that good stuff. But I'm happy to know that there are still people out there who are willing to they're willing to repair broken friendships. Excuse me. There's people out there who are willing to repair the broken friendships, and they're willing to admit when they're wrong, and they say, you know what, I made a mistake, and I apologized for the things I said to her publicly, or said about her. You know, I said some pretty mean things, and it was the heat of the moment, and we both said some things we shouldn't have, and she apologized, I apologized back, and we're working on things. We're getting that friendship built back up, and I hope we keep it that way, because I don't like to fight with people. I don't like to be confrontational. I don't want to leave on a bad note. I don't want to give people a bad feeling, even if it's an email. Lori Libby, even if it is an email. An email is a fucking email. You can block the email address. It's really that simple. Don't sit and whine about harassment. It's an email. Get over it. You're more worried about an email than you are some pervert, some fucking creep that you defend, which I find to be really, really gut-wrenching. And I fear for your kid. I really fear for your son. I told you that in an email, and I'm telling you right here, right now, in front of the entire fucking world. I fear for your kid, because you just can't see the forest for the trees. And that goes for anybody else who supports Milt Tyson and fighting all monsters. You can fuck right on off with that, because I don't want any part of it, and you should have enough wherewithal to stop and think of what you're getting yourself into. Oh, well, he got the kids on the Ellen Show. He does such wonderful, magnificent things. He is a lying motherfucker. There's a lot of people in the childhood cancer world who are liars. Absolutely. And I had to find out the hard way. And if for those of you like Lori who want to sit and listen and read into everything on Facebook, oh, well, all these people are saying it and they're really upset about it. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're making shit up. It's a narrative. You've adopted a narrative. You read something on Facebook and think, oh, gee, so we have to treat him like public enemy number one just because all these people are saying it. You people don't understand, and I've been sitting here for week after week trying to get you to understand that. I've done your fucking homework for you. And you just don't see that. You don't understand what I'm trying to explain. She finally got it. And we're probably going to talk about that in the phone call after I'm done here. And I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that phone call. It's going to be a productive conversation. We're going to get a lot of things out into the open. We're going to speak to one another. We're going to have a wonderful conversation. We're going to pick up on where we left off, and we're going to make things right, because that's what adults do. When they realize they've made a mistake, they're adult enough to say, you know what, I fucked up. I made a mistake. Will you forgive me? Yes, I forgive you. And I'd be more than willing to forgive Lori if she just got off her high horse for a few minutes and realize what she's getting herself into and realize what I'm trying to tell her. And that goes for anybody else. The thing that blows me away, though, is that although talking about Tom Mitchell, he showed everybody, if you're a fan of if you follow him or the Still Brave bullshit on Facebook, he fostered a lie and a rumor, and you people still revere him. Why? Because he fostered, that makes him a liar, by the way. If you're going to jump on a bandwagon and share what someone else said with no evidence to back it up, that makes you a liar as well. And for some reason, there's people out there who still revere him. I don't know why. I had one cancer mom tell me that Tim McBride was a saint. Now, I don't know Tim McBride. I've never spoken with Tim McBride. I heard he raises a lot of money for the Isabella Santos Foundation. Okay. Cool. Bravo. Good for him. I don't have any beef with him. So that's why I really don't talk much about him. But for the one mother who said that he was a saint, that's where I draw the line. There is no such thing as a saint in the childhood cancer world or elsewhere for that matter. We don't play that game. There is no such thing as a saint. I've donated money to numerous hospitals, not just in Michigan, but other hospitals. Does that make me a saint? No, it just means that I understand. And like I said, I don't have any issues with Tim McBride. I don't know him enough to have an opinion about him. I've heard that he, like I said, he raises a lot of money for the hospitals and for the Isabella Santos Foundation. That's great. That's awesome. Good for him. But I'm not going to call him a saint. I'm not going to get all, batshit crazy over one person. And that's just the thing, it's like people who worship and you guys are so quick to lift your shirt over your head for these people and to slide your panties off for these people, but you don't understand what you're getting yourselves into. I don't care for cults, and when they are being intertwined and juxtaposed in with advocacy of childhood cancer, that's something that I just don't stand for that either. You're here to do a cause. You're here to do a purpose. You're here you want to call yourself an advocate? Fine. It's just a label. It's not what you fucking do. Now, you want to call yourself an advocate? Great. I'm a childhood cancer survivor. That doesn't go away. Cemented into my life for the rest of my life until the day I die. So even if I don't actively give money, or if I don't share gold ribbon because I don't have a fetish for gold ribbons, if I don't do something right then and there, that doesn't mean that I'm not a childhood cancer survivor. I'm always going to be that. I'm not an advocate anymore, but that's irrelevant to what I actually am. And that's a survivor. And there's a lot of people I speak with. There's a lot of amazing people I've met in my life and spoken with in my life. But there are some people who are just so full of shit. They're so full of themselves. Oh, Jared, you think the world revolves around you? No, I don't. I don't, because I know it doesn't. But what I'm looking for is honesty. I want for people to be honest. I want for people to say, you know what? I do have a bit of an ego problem. I am a bit of a narcissist. Maybe I should just kind of scale it back a little bit. And, you know, it's and it's not even what you say, it's what you do. So you say, you know, I do love and care about people, but it's not about me. It's about the people I serve. It's about the people I help. And I honestly, if you just went on Facebook and if you said, yes, I help families in need, that's all you would have to say. I would respect that. But no, you got to show checks and dollar amounts and pictures of the kids and, oh, look what I did today. Huh? I'm such a amazing, beautiful, wonderful person. That's where I lose respect. That's where I lose all hope, because it's not, you're making it about yourself. It's virtue signaling. Oh, look at me. Just like, all this, like Dolly Parton. I love Dolly Parton to death. She's like one of my favorite country singers, but guess what? She got a shot. Big, hairy fucking deal. As much as I love her, as much as I think she's great, and as much as I love her music, so what if she got a fucking needle stuck in her arm? Who cares? I've been cut the fuck open. I've had needles jabbed in me more times than I can count. That doesn't mean I'm special. But some people will do anything for attention, even if it means using your kids to do it. And that's where I have to say something. You cannot let these people use your children as fodder for their ego and for their image on Facebook, because none of that matters. There's nothing about Facebook that matters, that has any relevance to your life. Facebook is an inanimate platform. It's not your mind and it's not your heart. You are your mind and your heart. Not some fucking social media web. Ridiculous. You have to be yourself. If you do go out there and donate money to a charity, great. More power to you. Keep doing that. Help people. But the minute you use someone else's downfall and you go on Facebook and you brag about who you help and how you help, that's where it gets stupid. That's where I lose all respect. I don't know. I wish people were better. I wish people, if you're going to preach kindness, then show it. If you're going to preach being humble, be it. Don't just say these words because you know that they're magic words and it's going to resonate with everybody. Just do what you're going to do. If you have to explain what it is, then chances are you probably don't know what it is. But I've rambled on, man. Being quiet over there, he ain't going to tell me to shut the fuck up. But it's the same thing every week, pretty much. This cheese is good. Very good. I love cheddar cheese. When I make my taco salad, I add the sharp cheddar, but it's shredded, of course. But this is good cheese. Did we have anything planned this week? Oh, we went and paid our propane too last week. Yep. But we were at a funeral home yesterday, and because we're making plans for funerals, and things like that for when something should happen to Dad here, which I hate having that conversation. I hate it, and he knows it. But it's an inevitable part of life, death is just a part of living. It's something we got to do eventually. And the thought of losing my parents, I can't stomach that. I can't break it to my heart, that one day this is going to happen. And a lot of it has to do with all the things I've been through in my life, and they guided me through. They taught me how to handle situations. They taught me how to deal with certain things and certain people, and everything that I'm explaining to you, like, I don't use other people's kids for glamour and all that. I speak from direct personal experience. Because the first time I ever had my real dose of survivor guilt, my first real dose of survivor guilt, I was only 4 years old. And that was in East Lansing when I had to go to clinic for a checkup. When you're little and you see a kid who's completely bald, he's walking around in nothing but his hospital socks, a pair of undies, and a hospital gown, pulling a IV pole behind him, something's up. And he had a bunch of wires hooked to him. Yeah. And I'm standing there with my Jared bear in my hands. And mom and dad never really explained until we get going down the road. Like, yeah, he had a sick in his tummy too. But I don't think it was his tummy. I think it was some kind of other cancer. I don't know what it was, but he was sick. And you knew it. But at that age, I just kind of looked, because it's like, well, I'm thinking he's not well either, and that's how I learned. See, everything I've ever had to learn in life, I had to find out early in life. I had to live the experience, and I had to find out so early in my life. And here I am today. And when I was an advocate, I would behave and operate in a certain way, and I would stay within my own boundaries and make sure that I'm not crossing boundaries, overstepping boundaries. But the thing too is that you get a lot of these parents, which, by the way, this always gets misconstrued, but I'm going to say it anyway. The thing that really gets me about parents of this day and age is that you have people, parents in particular, they use their children to shield their ignorance. And that's exactly what's happened on Facebook. You get these people who, well, I'm protecting my kid. I got nothing against protecting children. I support child protection. But when you read something on Facebook, something that has not met its burden of proof, and you're willing to believe that anyway without actually knowing if it's true, or when I say show evidence and they come up empty-handed, but you're going to believe it anyway. Well, I got to protect my child. What are you protecting them from? You haven't even demonstrated if it's true or not. So what the fuck are you talking about? Well, I'm not willing to take that chance. Then you're a fool, because you could be wrong. You could be wrong, which they are about a lot of things. You could be wrong, but you're still going to believe it anyway. That's what I'm talking about. You don't use your kids as an excuse to shield your ignorance. You say, you know what? I read this about you on Facebook, Jared, but I have never seen that from you. And these people have no proof. They can't demonstrate the validity of their claim. They're coming up empty-handed every time I ask them for proof. All they show me is a claim, which is not evidence, by the way. A claim is just a claim. And I think people, they're starting to get it. People are starting to get it. And I'm not saying that child protection, I'm not saying that child protection is bad. I'm not saying you shouldn't protect your kids. What I'm saying is that you don't get to use your kids to shield your ignorance, because there's two sides to every story. The information you're reading or the information you're getting could be false. It could be inaccurate. And you're willing to base your decisions, your rash decisions, on information that's inaccurate. And that's dangerous. We live in that kind of a world, by the way. I don't know if you had an opportunity to take a good look around you in the outside world, but people operate this way and it's fucking dangerous. Just ask the people who think that the COVID is fake. Just ask the people who choose not to wear masks when they go out in public. Ask the people who they just don't care about anybody else. Ask those people. They'll tell you. Ask all the conspiracy theorists out there. They'll tell you exactly what they think. And they're batshit fucking crazy and they're straight up wrong. You don't get to use your children to shield your ignorance. Sorry. If you want to be respected and if you want to be a man or a woman of your word, then you need to start showing it. Don't say it just because it's going to resonate and because it's going to stick to the wall when you throw it at it. You have to actually back your shit up. And Dad's awfully quiet over here. Help me out. Yeah. You get what I'm saying though, right? And no, he's not just saying that because he's my dad. We disagree on a lot of things all the time. Because you could be wrong about something. That's all it is. You could be wrong, but if you, well, I have to protect my kid. Protect your children. Absolutely. If you don't protect your kids from something that's actually true, then you're an idiot. However, when you go off half-cocked and well, I read, why are all these people saying it? I don't know. Why are they saying it? That's a good question. Because they have no evidence to support their claim. And by the way, these people who are accusing me of harassing, what do you think these shit starters are doing when they message you, like Debbie Carver or who else? Carrie Rickman, Cindy Gibson, Elizabeth Deaver, all these people. What do you think they're doing when they're messaging all these parents saying, beware of Jared Fuller, he's a creep, which is a big fucking lie. But what do you think? What do you call that? You don't call that harassment? Goes both ways. See? Goes both ways. But anyway, I think I made my point. It's just it just gets irritating. It gets very irritating when when even when you're spot on with something, even when you've demonstrated a point, when it should be something that is so easy to understand, but somehow these people don't comprehend. Why? Why is it so hard to understand? It should be easy to understand. Very easy to understand. I don't know. I don't spend my free time thinking about things like this because I'm too busy living my life. And speaking of living my life, I mean, yeah, I go out there, I try to have a good time, I spend time with friends and family. I try to make the best out of every day. But there are also days when I just don't feel like going out or doing anything or going anywhere. I just want to, hang back. I just want to hang out here at the house. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't depend on, see, like when I get feeling sad, is someone here? I think I just heard a car door shut. I don't know. I heard a car door shut. Hold on a second, guys. No one's here? Okay, good. Oh, probably neighbors. But oh fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. I got distracted. But anyway, I just don't believe everything I'm told. I don't care if 1,000 be it's like this, if there was another guy out there like myself who was being lied about and accused of doing things, and if 1,000 of those same people 1,000 people came to me and said, "You gotta watch out for Mike over there because Mike is a creep and look how he talks to kids," and this, that, and the other, I would have to say, "Well, show me some proof. Show me some evidence. Show me, uh, if you say that he's saying things inappropriately in a video chat, I wanna see screenshots of the child and the person. I want audio that corroborates with that. I wanna know what the kid's name is. I wanna know the names of the parents, and if the cops are involved, I want names, badge numbers, case numbers. I want all of it. There's too much information not available, but you just want me to take it on faith that what you're telling me is the truth. Sorry. Sorry, and I'm not gonna oh, I know what I was gonna say. I don't use other people's kids, and I don't use friends when I'm feeling insecure about myself. I really don't have an insecurity issue. I really don't. I mean, I miss my friends a lot of the time, and this person that I've, um, rekindled a friendship with, and we're repairing this friendship. Yes, I still miss this person. I thought about them a lot, and I was hurt. But she came back. She apologized. I apologized to her. And I know I'm talking about this. I'm obsessing about this a lot, but it's a great feeling to know that all is not lost, and friendships are definitely worth repairing. And if that's even humanly possible, even in the slightest way, I'm always more than happy to have that conversation and to um, try to make things better because that's what it's about. I want to make things better. I want to make things right, and I still want to meet you. I still want to come see you, meet you one day. I want to meet your son. I want to make memories. I want to have fun and have serious conversation because our friendship. And what I thought was beautiful, what she said in the text message, she says, I just don't want it to be, we're friends just because of we met through childhood cancer advocacy. I want to be friends with you because you were nice to me and we had a lot of awesome conversations, and I want to have that back. I want to have that back too. Absolutely. And not everything has to be about childhood cancer. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. All the people that I still talk to from the childhood cancer world that I've met, the people who still keep in contact, not every conversation is about childhood cancer. We talk about all kinds of different things. In fact, my friends who live in another state, they were talking about when I come back, they want me to play Super Mario Brothers with them. And it was a young Wilm survivor. He says, "We got to play Super Mario World. You got to show me where all the secrets are." Okay. Not a problem. It has nothing to do with childhood cancer. And yes, for those of you who are watching, the parents are always nearby, so you don't have to worry about that because it's so stupid anyway. But our conversations don't revolve around childhood cancer. Yeah, if they didn't trust me, they wouldn't want me to come back. So, yeah, they want me to come back, and in fact, the neighbor of my friend from out of state, because she's never met me, her son's met me, and he's a sweet kid, but she wants to meet me. She says, "You're fucking awesome, man. I want to meet you. I want you to come back. I want to meet you because I want to give you a hug." I love hugs. I love human contact. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's all about, with the pandemic going on and yeah. Yeah. And yeah, and her neighbors love me enough that they want me to come back. They want me to stay longer. So what does that, I mean, what does that tell you? If, you know, if I'm such a horrible person, these people wouldn't want me to come back. In fact, there's a family I know right now. It's, you know, she's a good friend of a family whose daughter is fighting cancer. And she says, you know what? I don't know how they would feel about you staying at their house, but because I'm a neighbor of them and I've known them for 20 years, my boyfriend and I would be perfectly okay with you staying at our house so you don't have to rent a motel room. It would save you some money. And I appreciate that. And I did tell her, I said, I don't want to overstep boundaries. I don't want to push my welcome. I don't want to go where I'm not welcome. And she says, you're always welcome here. She says, we have no problem or issue with you. So what does that tell you, people? What does that tell you guys? What does that tell you? If all these people want to meet me, they want me to come and see them. What does that tell you? Dad, you.
Oh, that's telling me. A lot of people just don't know you well enough.
They want to assume.
They want to assume before they get the facts, and then if they listen to all them other people saying, "Hey, we love having Jared coming here and staying with us. He's good with our kids, and he talks to us decent,
right?
And we treat him decent, and he treats us with respect."
Yep.
And it's not always about the kids; it's the parents.
Yeah, I get along great with the parents. Parents are fucking awesome.
Right.
It's just, listen, Lori. Listen, Lori. Listen to everything I'm saying. Write this down. If I'm so horrible, why do all these people want me to come back? Well, they don't know the truth about you. So what's the truth then? So what's the fucking truth? What were you going to say, Dad?
Send that to you so you can see the proof that I'm such a bad person.
So if I'm not, so tell me where I'm being dishonest. Tell me where I'm not being truthful. I threw down the gauntlet a long time ago on that. Show me some evidence. Haven't seen it yet. And all these people, oh, I've got evidence. Okay. Yeah, you got evidence. Where do you keep it? In your underwear? Keep it in your bra? Keep it in your butt? Where do you keep it? Where is it? If you got it, show it. Don't toss it back and forth on Facebook because that doesn't solve anything. If you're accusing me of something felonious, put it in a police report. Put the evidence in a police report. I'm sure y'all got my address, my mailing address. You can get it from somebody. Send the cops to my house. If I'm so bad. I don't know. I seem to get nowhere with that. And if they do show up, rest assured, I'll be filming them and I'm going to humiliate them in front of you. And it's going to be fun. Cop hater, but you know, I have no use for rogue cops, and I'll put them out there. I'll put them out there. I have no problem with that. Yep. Yep. So I've wasted another Sunday talking about the same thing that I try to avoid every fucking week. But you know, this was too good not to talk about. I've been here for over an hour. And my friend is most likely watching this, and she's waiting very patiently for me to end this so we can have our conversation on the phone. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you for stopping by again for another edition of the Sunday video update. And everything here is good. It's been a rather busy week, and I've been running here, running there. I visited with Mom and my brothers and my dad. Well, of course, it was we took care of some business with my dad yesterday. We've all been very busy here, but we're doing well. We're staying active. We're staying healthy, or at least trying to stay active and healthy. And everything's good here.
Yeah, funny what that lady said.
What lady?
One yesterday, she said, well, if she had the coronavirus.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
lives in the same house.
Right.
What's the secret? And I told him, drink beer.
Yeah, drink beer.
She laughed.
Yeah, drink beer.
She laughed.
Beer doesn't sound bad actually right now.
She laughed about
But-
it. She said, oh, okay.
Yeah.
She laughed.
But anyway, guys, any last words before I wrap this up?
Yep, take care and stay safe and don't listen to a bunch of gossip because that's all it is. If you haven't got proof, then it's just talk.
Then just shut the fuck up and don't say anything at all.
Jared, you know what I always say at the ends.
Might as well say it. It's your trademark.
Peace out.
Go for it.
Peace out, be safe, and later. I can't remember it, that's why.
You're too high.
She's too high. She smoked a J.
Yes, folks, it is medical.
Yeah, it's medical. So put that in your pipe and smoke it,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
As I say, Indian powwow.
Indian powwow.
Circle.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway, guys, that's about going to do it for this week. My friend is waiting very patiently for the phone call. So much love to all of you. Thanks for watching. And I want to thank my friend again for having the adult courage to want to repair this friendship, because it matters to me. You matter to me, your son matters, and everybody matters. But we got to do the right thing for the right reasons, guys. That's all. So much love. Have a good one. Peace out. And I will see you all next week. Toodaloo. Take care. Bye-bye for now. Arrivederci. Hasta luego.